Yes, I, Yeshua Shalom, give thanks and praises to the Almighty Jah Rastafari, the true, the King of Kings, the Father Christ, in his kingly character, Jah Rastafari, Gedamawi Haile Selassie. You know what I mean? The last king to sit on the throne of David in Ethiopia. You know what I mean? That New Jerusalem, New Jerusalem. You know what I mean? Even if we got to give a shout out to the old Jerusalem and all those the real Jews, the real Yehudi, because that's the real terminology. But for what if you know Jewish Jew, we're gonna use that terminology right now. But I just want to address a lie in this article I was reading. Shout out to my brother Urban Politicians in the H Town. You know what I mean? Because I saw it on his channel actually. I just want to show that us as Black Americans, you know, we have to see these things that kind of fly over our head, you know what I mean? Because they don't be paying attention to a lot of this. I'm not even about to get into Drake with the lawsuit with Kendrick and all that. For the most part, he's a sore loser. I think so, you know what I'm saying? If you want to go at the business of UMG, to me, if any artist, had probably the rights or so to sue UMG, I would believe it would have been like Bob Marley and the Wailers or something like that. People who was, because they were really creating real spiritual music to try to bring up the children of Israel, the Black children of Israel, let them know who they were, let them know who the King of Kings, Jah Rastafari is. We got different Black Hebrew Israelite groups who are coming to that knowledge of what that is. So we're dealing with a lot of Black people who still got that lost state of mind. So they're still finding out who they are. They're still waking up to it and everything like that. Now, I want to go into this article right here. And not to, I'm really not doing it to try to go at Drake or anything like that. Like I said, in my opinion, personally, I think I think it's a sore loser move. If I had to say something to Drake, really honestly, Drake at this point could have been a Judaic teacher to Black people, man. He could have been like really like a Jewish teacher to Black people who want to learn Judaism or want to learn Hebrew. He could have been teaching Hebrew or something like that. You know what I mean? But no, that's not what we get. We get a brother who you see these lost sheep, you know what I'm saying, turning into gangsters in the hood, and then they make music and whatever they did to try to, whatever they underworld involvement was in the earlier years in the 90s, because, a lot of that came from the older days, from the 80s and the 70s. That a lot of that has to do with our culture in a more modern form. We want to go back to the roots of our culture. We got the Gullah Geechie, we got the Gullah Wars, which really freed Black people. You know what I mean? The war that was fought against Andrew Jackson, Black people freed themselves. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to the rabbi, the Lion of Judah Society, Wyndham Yadon, you know what I'm saying? The Rastafari Jews, because that's what we need to be. This is what Black people really need to be paying attention to, especially in America, because a lot of time when you talk about the preservation of your culture, there was much preservation and much detail spent on the cultural, what the cultural aspect of Black people here in America is on the Rastafari Jews channel. The video the Rebbe did on the FBA, on the Fat Joe video, you know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of the same thing Fat Joe did. Fat Joe he shitted on the same people. He tried to shit on the same people who he came up off of and got his money, got riches and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then he shits on it from a perspective. It made him seem like, he was more geared to a white racist side of it. You know what I mean? And the same thing kind of happens with Drake too. Is really interesting. But I just think, with Drake, let me say this straight up. I don't believe the whole, as far as he's taking it, like with the whole the pedo thing and all that. I don't believe that. I really don't. I'm not looking at it like that, bro. I'm more looking at it like he came with some clever. You know how rap battles are, man. Niggas say all kind of things in the rap battle. I mean, man, we done heard some of the worst things people be talking about. I think things people shouldn't be saying about other people. But this, what Kendrick said, is light work compared to what we hear in the rap battle. Let's keep it real. Come on. You know what I'm saying? That's light work. Have you seen a rap battle? This dude, the funny thing is that Drake, you hosted a rap battle with two of the most, you know what I'm saying? You hosted a rap battle with brothers, you know how they talk in the rap battles, man. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, the reason I think that if it's such a business move, I think it's something that you should, if that's true, right? And you really feel like you was defrauded business-wise and all those things, even though, you know, what you like a billionaire, almost a billionaire or something like that, right? At least that's the big talk. You know, brothers, that we billionaires and shit. Like, you got a lot of money, right? You got a lot of bread, all right? But humble yourself, man, and come out of your pride, because the idea that sometimes you want to have where you want to look like this big bad dude and stuff like that, you know what I mean? That right there, it really, I mean, and nobody's to say that you don't. I think every man should stand up for himself and stand on his, if it's righteousness, or if it's for his family, for his children, for his people. You know what I mean? Sometimes you might have to come out and kind of say something. You know what I mean? Or you need to say something all the time. You know what I mean? But on another note, you got to remember when you kind of came up in a kind of like a dark, kind of wicked, kind of, you know, hip hop cultural way, and you did, you know what I'm saying? Then you connect yourself to like the street niggas who grew up in the projects and the ghettos and shit like that and did whatever they had to do to survive. A lot of them developed, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say a permanent ratchetness and low down dirty kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? And then call themselves gangsters. You know what I'm saying? But that's not really what it do. That's not what makes you a man. What makes you a man is if you stand on your own under the Almighty. To me, a real man is him who gonna defend the word of the Almighty and do what the Almighty tell him to do. Or he see the plight of his people, he gonna defend his people on that sense. Now, I consider you a black man. You know what I mean? Yeah, you mixed. You know what I'm saying? But you still have that black in you, so I consider you a black man. You know what I'm saying? So in that sense, I figure you would stand up for your people. So if we look at some of the stuff you said, like, oh, you trying to free the slaves and all this kind of rich, arrogant, you know, Dennis the Menace kind of shit that you be saying, you know what I mean? And it makes it look like maybe I didn't really think you thought like that. You know, we seen, you know, Rick Ross said whatever he said, they calling you a white boy and all this other shit. Yo, I doubt those are just rhymes and lyrics. Those are battle lyrics. Like Pusha T, he got on you. You know what I mean? You've been in a battle. You know what I mean? I think you wanted to go at it with J. Cole. J. Cole was like, he humbly was like, nah, you know, it ain't affecting him. He a man that stood on his own. If J. Cole didn't feel like getting out there with y'all, then he didn't, you know what I'm saying? He a man. He be his own man. Hey, look, this is what I chose to do. You know what I'm saying? That's respected in that sense. But I think a lot has went to your head, man, and your pride is ridiculous. You know, what about your father's side? Because I want to speak on this article. What this article is getting on right here is that, and I want to go see where, you know, if this guy, if he did it on purpose. I'm not sure if he told a lie on purpose or, you know, he said it because that's what he believes. And even if it's what you believe, we still got to fight against it because it's a lie. You know what I'm saying? Because black people are the original Jews, right? And where do we get this from, that black people are the Israelites? We get this from the Bible. We get this from verses. I'm a use it. I use it all the time. Amos 9:7. You know, aren't you as the children of the Ethiopians to me, O Israel? That's right there. Ethiopia represents black universalism. Okay? From the Almighty's perspective. I didn't say what it was from a secular Ethiopian's perspective. I didn't say what it was because of you a Pan-Africanist and you want to think what you want to think and all of that. The fact that the EWF, which was created, right, by His Imperial Majesty Kedemawi Haile Selassie, who sent his angel, his missionary angel, Malaku Iban, right? Not to forget the works of Marcus Mosiah Garvey, you know what I'm saying, as they call him, right? With the, you know, the universal Negro the Universal Negro Improvement Association, right? Which some brothers would more refer to that. But what we have is that you got to remember Marcus Garvey in his original sense, he was a follower of His Imperial Majesty Kedemawi Haile Selassie. Now, the Ethiopian World Federation was created in 1936, and the preamble is "We, the Black people of the world." That particularly can be simultaneously seen with Amos 9:7 in the Bible, in the Torah, right? So what this guy said right here, PJ Grissar, in his article, he said that that was a Black Hebrew Israelite doctrine, right? No. The Black Hebrew Israelites didn't make that up. The Torah said that. So I don't know if you're a real Jew or not, or what your religion is, but it's the Bible that said that. So I'm letting you know right now it's the Bible that said that. I'm gonna show you the paragraph that I had an issue with, that I thought was interesting about. And another thing, from his article, his perspective was, so you're a Khazar Jew now, Drake? Are you shitting on your lost, your father's side, your black father, who's from the lost, you know what I'm saying? He's one of the lost sheep of Israel, one of the black brothers who was enslaved in these North Americas and scattered throughout the whole world, like the Bible tells us in Deuteronomy chapter, 28, verse 15 through 68, right? Where he says, y'all will return into Egypt and all of these places. You be scattered out the whole world through ships, right? So we got a real, we have a root, our culture, these slave ships and slavery. You know what I mean? A lot of us that in the 90s, when they used to show this stuff, like Roots and all that, we used to go to school, and that did a lot to our mind and our heart. Seeing our people come from physical slavery to the psychological slavery that the people still seem to be in now. You know what I mean? But let me show you the paragraph that I had an issue with, that I thought was like, where you coming from with that? You know what I mean? So this is the paragraph right here. So I'm starting right here, right? It says, so some take the colonizer lyric. So right here, you see at the top, it says, some take the colonizer lyric and Not Like Us as a reference to Drake performing in a musical idiom that, as a biracial Canadian, doesn't belong to him, right? Now he says it doesn't belong to him, right? Well, what he was saying was, he's saying that you side with the people who were of colonialization, depending on what you mean by colonialization. You know what I'm saying? And are we still living in a state? Are we living in some fractions of the system of colonization? Are we still living that out? Are we still? Yes, we are. We are still living in it. We still do have people lying about us really being the Jews, really being the Black Israelites. We still got a lot of that going on. I would just, shout out to Wyndham Yacht on the Rebbe of the Line of Judah Society on RASTAFARI Jews. I was just looking at, his video about the famous Black abolitionist, right? That's an FBA right there, the famous Black abolitionist. Because, let us break down what these things really mean, right? So some take the colonizer lyric and Not Like Us as a reference to Drake performing in a musical idiom as a biracial Canadian doesn't belong to him. But online posters cited in the complaint mentioned that the lyric, goes much deeper than rap, right? And that so-called Khazarians stole the identity of true biblical Semitic Israelite, right? So let us pause there, because when they talk about Khazarian, what I used to do, and I think a lot of people get the Khazarians or the Khazars, they get that mixed up like with the Ashkenazi, right? But the truth is that there's a relationship there. You know what I'm saying? There's like a colonial, a colonizing type of mind state relationship there. You know what I'm saying? Where you don't believe that the root people, because it's not saying that the Almighty saying all the nations are his people, right? So if you come into his Torah, then you got to respect the fact that the black people, even if they're in a lost state of mind, those are still his people. You know what I'm saying? Those are still Israelites. They might not know it, but it doesn't give you the right to deny them who they originally are. Now, you can say, hey, you know, one is not living as a Jew should live by the Torah. And, you know, you can say, oh, well, you doing this, you doing that. You're not living as a Jew should live. But then again, we got to be careful with that, because we know those who call themselves Jews but are of the synagogue of Satan Jews. So now, if I was to say, if you a Jew that call yourself a Jew, but you are a Jew of the synagogue of Satan white Jews, for example, the synagogue of Satan white Jew, or the synagogue of Satan white Jews. If I could say there's a synagogue of Satan black Jews, there's certainly a synagogue of Satan white Jews. We know that because we can look at the industry and see, you know, what's going on, who was running what. Drake's Bar Mitzvah video says it all. I mean, look at all the people in there. What color are they? All right. What are they doing in the video? Does the video not look demonic? Right? Yeah, it does. It don't look like something Christ would approve of throughout the whole video. Now, we're not saying when he's in a synagogue and he's reading the Torah. I'm sure if he's really reading from the Torah to the spirit of the people and he really feel like he grasped the Holy Spirit, I respect that. I'm not going to say, oh, no, you know, he don't have the Holy Spirit. But now if you do things and show things that are opposite, that look satanic, for example, I'm not calling him evil because he named his whatever, he named it OVO. I went into what it reminded me of. Look at the owl and look at the, you know, the whole owl worship, the Moloch worship, the Bohemian Grove. You know what I'm saying? It's like all of that satanic dark shit is in there. Why? If you such a true Jew in that sense, you know what I'm saying? Now I'll give it to Drake. He, you know, I'll say this, that his mother's Jewish, right? So his mother, supposedly that's supposed to be her religion, right? And so that's why he says he grew up around, you know, these Jewish white people and everything like that. But you didn't respect the fact that, have you ever read the Torah, that your father is a black person and he is from the lost tribe of Israel. He is a black sheep. Whether he agrees with it or not, he's still considered one of those enslaved, you know, black Africans that was brought over here to this land and all of that, right? Even if we have some black people that, you know, some of them are they good black people, they bad black people. They might be sellouts in that sense. But still, you got to respect the fact that your father, Rutely, is a black Jew. He Rutely is a black Jew. You know what I'm saying? Because he is a black man over here in North America. We know how he got here. We didn't migrate over here. We were framed for Slavic people that they used to treat that way. Now, this is interesting. Now, the Khazars did enslave, or they became a port for enslavement. They were involved in enslavement of black Jews. You know what I'm saying? But this was around the 10th and 8th century, I believe, BC, that is. Or perhaps, actually, I'm probably going to before. Actually, it's later than that. I think it's the 8th and 10th century AD. All right. I want to get that specific. I think it was in the 8th and 10th century AD. All right. That they did participate as a post for enslaving black Jews to the Arabs. All right. They did participate in that. So in that sense, you can be, if you claim to be, you're a Khazarian Jew, and you saying the black people are not the original Jew. You are. That is a colonizer spirit right there. That's why our father, Kedemawi Haile Selassie, the King of Kings, he said in his doctrine, he was like, you know what? We need to decolonialize. You know what I mean? That's why slavery was abolished in Ethiopia in 1941. All right? The 40, one of those years, I believe. And I think that is the same year that Marcus Mosiah Garvey had passed away, and His Majesty had went and he put that that seal on his grave, in memorial. Even though Marcus Garvey at one point in time had talked down on His Imperial Majesty. You know what I mean? He said things that he shouldn't have said about the King of Kings, about the anointed king, who he believed in, who he professed in, the brothers and sisters in the Caribbean area, you know, this strong Rastafari spirit, and with Marcus Garvey, if his love for black people and what he did, we don't take that away from him. But where he slandered His Majesty, he was wrong for that. You know what I'm saying? And if that's what people follow, if you following that, you know what I mean? That's why I question a lot of things Umar does. It's kind of weird, some of the things, some of the comments he said, like what he recently said about Ethiopia. You know, only in Ethiopia. No, nigga, you mean only in these ratchet ass niggas. You know what I'm saying? That don't want to understand the truth. So let me go over here where I spotted the lie at in this. So it says, but online posters cited in the complaint mention that the lyric goes much deeper than rap, and that the so-called Khazarians stole the identity of the true biblical Semitic Israelites, right? This appears to be a reference to the ideology, check this out, of some groups of black Hebrew Israelites, right? Now, I mean, you know, respectfully, I have to say the way he quoted that, this appears to be a reference to the ideology of some groups of black Hebrew Israelites. But I want to correct you on that, because I don't know if you meant to do that. You know what I mean? Because that right there could cause a lot of confusion. You might make black people think they're not the Israelites, and they are. They are the original Israelites. We're not going to lie about that. You know what I mean? We are the original Jews. We are the black Jews. You know what I mean? At the same time, we understand the whole Torah, though. You know, or even if we don't, we understand the other part which says that how Hashem says, the Almighty says, God says that the nations are my people too. All right. So that means that those who believe in the Almighty and they follow the Almighty and they seek to do the works of the Almighty and gather the Holy Spirit, those are our brothers and sisters too in Christ, even if they be not our race. You see what I'm saying? Because we have brothers and sisters that are a race who can be our enemies too. If they're against this, they be like antichrist. So we got antichrist of white folks, antichrist black. We got antichrist everything. Right. So we got righteous of people, and then we got unrighteous. But how would you know what it specifically is, other than something that you just making up in your own head? You know what I'm saying? Because to say that the black people are not the original Israelites, they're not the original. They're Gentiles. The original Jews, you should be way past that information. If you read the Torah and you see what it says, you'll see how they fit that. How they are those people. It tells you directly that they are those people. And I use the verse again, Amos 9:7. I'm going to keep beating y'all in the head with that verse. Yeah, and I got it from my rabbi, the Rebbe of the Line of Judah Society. You know, one of them yada, and shout out, you know. Yeah, I always use that. I've been using that verse for over like 10 years, over and over and over again. But it's just like beating a dead horse sometimes. You know what I mean? Because like, when y'all going to get it? You know what I'm saying? So it says down here, right, that is their ideology, a movement. Now, I didn't like what you said, right? You said a movement which Lamar has affiliations with through his cousin. So you think Lamar's affiliation to being a black Israelite is through his cousin, nigga? Let's call him nigga, right? You think Lamar's affiliation to being a black Israelite is through his cousin? No, it's through the Bible. See, that's where I don't know if you lied by accident. You put out this article for what reason, trying to make it look like, oh, he's calling. We already know there's a battle rap. That's freedom of speech right there. That's battle rap. You concluded, you agreed to it. You agreed to it. And then when you lost, then you off in a sue. You know, and I don't know what wrongs if they really did, but it's hard to tell. You can't tell because you didn't do it until you lost. But you've been winning though. This is the crazy thing about Drake. Drake, you've been winning for like the last over 10 years since like '08. You've been winning. You've been winning since like 2008. The Kendrick can't get that. He can't get the shine now, man. That's some selfish, prideful fuckery right there, fam. He can't get his shine now. You know what I'm saying? Oh, so what? He said the thing. It's in a song, dog. It ain't like somebody out there literally calling you that, like literally saying that, and then people say, well, what if it's children? Man, they fucking kids. They don't know nothing. They don't know shit. They're children. You know what I mean? It's an evil world. You taught these kids all this evil shit to say. They shouldn't be saying none of that. Teach your children different so they don't be saying things that they don't know is true or not. I don't know to call the man such a thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not calling him that. I just looked at it like Not Like Us was a good song and you lost. You lost the battle. That's the way I looked at it. You could keep coming out with songs and music, but see, your spirit and your pride, it eats you alive. You got that Dennis the Menace, like, you know what I mean? You got that, like that Dennis the Menace kind of spirit, man. And it makes you look bad. You got too much pride. You know what I mean? So when the people get more intelligent than the dark shit, which you should have known, you know people grow. You should know people grow in education and generations grow as time goes on. They're going to, you know, eventually, yeah, it's stuff I used to listen to. You know what I'm saying? When I was like 20, 21, you know what I'm saying? I'm 40 now, bro. I don't even look at things the same way no more. I shouldn't be. I shouldn't be 40 thinking like I was when I was 20. I should be like 20 years wiser, right? That's just with time and growing. You know what I'm saying? That's the fruition of a man evolving. Hopefully in a good way, he becomes wiser to the Almighty. And he understands, okay, if I say these things, this is what this is teaching. If I do this or that, you got a lot of grown men running around still playing and shit. You know what I mean? I'm not finna, I'm not even about to mention or get into none of that. But I just want to address this lie right here because it's funny and it makes it look like, you played off of the culture. You did get rich and everything like that, but then turn around and someone says this, you should be disagreeing with it. If you go look up, right, is Drake black on the AI, you know what it's going to say? It's going to say, no, he's not. Right? It's going to say, no, he's not. You should have a problem with that, Drake. You know what I'm saying? The people already said you was a black man, bro. How you think you was able to grow so high in the hip hop culture? You know what I mean? Because the people agree that, okay, this is a brother right here. Yeah, you mixed, but you still a brother. You still a black man, right? You just mixed, right? That's all. That's, those of us intelligent mind state, that's what we would see. But now if you let that affect your soul and you begin to act out, well, this part of me is better than the other, that's how it looks. That's how it looks. You know what I'm saying? And y'all just worth dark, degenerate, and ratchet shit. That's why I was saying, show your intelligence in your music. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really don't believe. I don't believe that. I think it was just a good punchline in the song. It worked. It looked cool. And Kendrick did the video. Everything went together. The hopscotch, It was, I was like, yo, this is, you know what I mean? It's like the battle rap is like the art of war. You know what I mean? In a poetic form, basically, right? We all know that. If you've seen any battle raps, battle rap is an art of war in a poetic form. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? That's not really being taken serious like that. But I just think that if he did we can't tell a man, okay, you got a situation with a company, you need to sue them or whatever like that. Like I said, I think if the people who were righteously bringing forth a positive message and a righteous spirit with like Bob Marley and the Wailers and many of the other reggae artists who were not because they was from Jamaica or they was from the Caribbean. No, man, because they was teaching about the Most High and they was teaching us about the King of Kings, Kedemah Haile Selassie, our Father Christ. They were teaching us about God. They were teaching us who we were as Black Israelites. You know what I'm saying? And it came out in the form of the music. It touched your soul. You know what I'm saying? I remember when Drake first came out, his music, that music was, some of it was hard. I like the song he did with Bun B. I think that's what put him on the map, the song he did with Bun. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I just want to address these lies because as we coming up, as we're growing in our knowledge and our education as Black Israelites, I think that we have to address a lot of these issues. And the same thing with Fat Joe. I think Fat Joe is I always looked at Fat Joe, even many of our mixed brothers and sisters of the Spanish lineage. That's why I said that you should really get to know Black Americans' history, you know what I'm saying, as Israelites. I'm going to say as Israelites, man, for real. so that you can get the whole Gullah and Geechie history. I also wanted to show that because I want to show some, we want to go on the Rastafari Jews because I get thanks to the Rebbe because as much as I hear people talking about the whole foundational Black American thing, I don't see none of y'all waving them Gullah Geechie flags. You know what I'm saying? I don't see none of y'all going into the history and the Gullah Wars. Even the AI got up on it. This is in the I think it was in the 1600s. It was even before that because of the Seminoles, the Yamasee, and all of that. I think those wars actually started like in 1632. So Black people actually freed themselves like in the 1700s. It wasn't the Civil War, which is like 200 years later, right? It was 1865? Look at 100 years later, 100 some years later, and this is where they get this whole thing about white people helped us get free. Nah, Black people fought for their freedom. Most white people they turned a blind eye and act like they didn't see what was going on. That's the truth of it. You know what I mean? The Rebbe just did a video on that. So we need to pay attention to what our culture and our foundational roots are so people can't cheat us out of our education of who we really are. You know what I'm saying? As far as a battle for the reparations and those things that we truly need, we need to know who we are and stand on it. You know what I'm saying? Fat Joe I always thought he was a brother. Many of the Latino people are Black people with different, with lighter shades, and you could tell I never thought he was a white guy or a white boy. And then obviously anybody, if you claim to be a Puerto Rican, you got to remember, what about the Black Israelites who suffered down there in Puerto Rico? What about the indigenous Black Yoruba roots down there in Puerto Rico? That's shitting on them too. That shit, if you gonna shit on, you know what I'm saying? If you gonna issue on Black people, you shitting on them too. But the thing is, don't shit on the people struggling for their freedom and their rights. You know what I mean? Because that's what it felt like. That's what it seemed like he did. But at the same time, he did come out and say, hey, I am a Black man. I am against racism in the system. And I had to give him that he did say that. I think it was, I don't know, I'm not sure if it was afterward. I think it was afterward that he did say that. And I had to give Fat Joe that. You know what I mean? He feel like he is that Black person. But to me, other than Black people, with music, where would you have came up at? You know what I'm saying? Unless you was going, unless you were singing, Spanish music. Maybe you seen Spanish music. Might have came up in the Spanish culture with the Spanish music. Maybe so. You know what I'm saying? But you came up in the hip hop world amongst us. You know what I'm saying? And this is that's a Black American thing. I even, to myself, I kind of took lightly the whole Black culture thing until I watched this. And I want to show y'all this video here, but I just wanted to address this first about this whole, he didn't get it from his cousin. What's his name there? PJ Grissar. He didn't get it from his cousin. All right. And that's kind of racist that you would say something like that. You know what I'm saying? You trying to say that we not the people of the Bible. Is that what you trying to say? You know what I'm saying? Because it kind of seemed like that. You know what I mean? I don't know when you came off, you wrote this article, if that's what you meant or not, but you wrong. You know what I mean? We are the people of the Bible and everything like that. So he didn't get it from his cousin, bro. All right? He got it from the Bible. His cousin got it from the Bible. You know what I'm saying? And they cousins, and everybody else, whether they know it or not, it's the truth. You know what I mean? It is the truth. And a lot of our people are waking up to that. Okay, we are these Black Israelites. We are these Black Israelite people. You know what I'm saying? The promised land is ours over there. You know what I'm saying? And all of the people that are our brothers and sisters, remember, there's one law to Israel and the stranger. So this would conclude other races and nations of people who are under the Almighty and their truth and their righteousness. This would also conclude them too. We don't disconclude people based on some prejudice standards. We can't be racist because we don't control this system. We don't control the government. All right? People who are racist control the government and the system. You know what I'm saying? So to Fat Joe, them broken spirited N-words you was talking about, if they broken in spirit to the point where I think you ran with a lot of them. You know, a lot. You ran with a lot of them in your belief system, what you was into and what you was doing. All right, I'm not finna say what you know what it is. You know what it is. You know where we at, right? But you ran with a lot of broken spirited N-words who don't believe that they're black Israelites. You know what I'm saying? The ones that had the heart, I give Tariq Nasheed that he had the heart to go out there for the reparations. You know what I'm saying? If you look at some of these dates, the date on the 15th of June, right? The date on the 15th of June is the same. That's the same date in 2020 that they passed that 7th act for the other genders to get in on your race's rights, right? On some sexual actions. We're not even talking about women right now. We're not talking about women's rights or real biblical rights. We're talking about the sins and actions of a man in his sodomy or whatever wickedness. He attached that to your race as a right. That's when they did that 7th act on 2020. In 2020, on the 15th of June, right? They added that to your rights, to your so-called civil rights, right? They added that. Right? How did that help you in the workplaces and all that? I want to ask black people, how did you do in the workplaces and all that when you had to go? Did you deal with the oppression from sodomites and all that? Because I know firsthand I did. You know what I mean? So and some of them, this is a funny thing too, and this is what I want to say about what's his name? The journalist that Billy Porter played. Who's the journalist Billy Porter played? The brother's name, man, I forget his name, but he was talking about just because you are, a same-sex person or something like that. He said he even still experienced racism there. What about the racism? What about the racism in that? There's racism in that. All right, because I seen a lot of them that were racist that became like supervisors and dictators over jobs and shit like that. You know what I mean? I'm giving you the cold hard truth though. You know what I mean? Now, not to say that every experience was a racial or but still there's some form of oppression there. Why is somebody attaching who they want to have sex with to a racist rights or black people's rights in America was everybody's rights. So when you got people that come in and act like they don't remember, they don't know our history, they gonna shit on us too on some racial oppressive shit. You know what I mean? What is that saying? These are the same people that fought for your right. These people fighting for their rights led to the rights of many other peoples. So you just gonna shit on these people? You know what I mean? So yeah, it's the coming time we just gotta stand up and fight for ourselves straight up. You know what I mean? Whether it's freedom of speech or any way that it might have to be. So hopefully, by the grace of the Almighty, Jah, they will get the message through the freedom of speech. That it don't have to get physical like it did back in the Gullah Wars. You know what I mean? And let me see. I want to go to this video right here. But yeah, just going through this article, you know what I'm saying? I was just going through this article that this man wrote. But yeah, I found that this paragraph, and like I said, shout out to my brother Urban Politicians TV, because when I saw this paragraph, it really bothered me. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, nah, man, I gotta say something about that, because I don't hear nobody talking about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't hear nobody talking about that. I would never bring no just hating for no reason on another man for any reason. You know what I'm saying? But to me, it's like some spoiled rich kid stuff, it kind of remind me of the brethren. We had this saying, it's like, the kid that plays Monopoly, when he starts losing, he flips the board. You know what I mean? And that's what it looks like. That's what it seems like. Okay, you playing Monopoly. Okay, you get to the end of the game, you lose, boom, you flip the board. I can't remember the brother that first said that. You know what I mean? He's one of the brothers I need to give credit to. But me and the Wyndham was speaking about that, and it was like, yo, that's crazy. But when it comes to our roots as Black Americans, all right, we're gonna go to the Rastafari Jews channel, because it's almost like I almost can't explain it. Is this video right here? You see the FBA? Boom, that one right there.
You want to lose weight by Christmas so you can fit into that
I'm gonna skip the because I kind of wanted to go to the vid, to turn the volume down actually on the YouTube so you could see some of the pictures on here because I thought they was like really important, man. You know what I mean? See, like this flag right here, I don't see none of the the FBA, the Black Americans really going in on this history and this flag right here. You know what I mean? Like that Gullah Geechie history is very important that we freed ourselves because if you don't know that, they'll hit you with the, even when we have to fight for more freedom in the Civil War, you know what I'm saying? But the fact that I think the last video, and I give props to the Ray for the last videos. The last video that he did, I think was, let me see right here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and you do gotta say something, man. You gonna sit back and let them just do anything? Oh, hell no. You know what I'm saying? Where is it at? You know what I'm saying? Look for that video that Love did. Let me see. It's the Geechie is ours. Yeah, this was another video too that I think that was very important. You know what I mean? I don't want to get on that right. I want to kind of address that too. The Igbo tribe, but I'm going to get on that right now. Shout out to my brother over there too. Go Black to Africa. Let me see. And all the black podcasters that are educating the young youth so they'll know what direction to go here in the future. You know what I'm saying? And to know how to deal with, you know what I mean? Because we got these enemies that want to discredit black people. I don't appreciate that shit at all. You know what I'm saying? Especially with all these lies of this white Jesus and all that. Jesus was not white. You know what I mean? And you should know that by now. It's not about offending you, but if the truth is an offense, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? You offending an almighty God, and you just have to, knock your ass off. You know what I'm saying? Lightning, thunder, and brimstone to you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever other disaster. And I'm not wishing that on people. But if you think you're going to continue in an evil fantasy and shit on my people, right? I don't wish nothing good for you. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I wish fire, thunder, and brimstone on your ass. You need to have some change of heart, change of mind. For real. We far too late in history and time for y'all to keep lying with this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I see it's a lot of, every time I see them AI, them white Jesus depictions and all that shit, what are y'all doing? All you doing is building a road to hell. That's all you doing. Remember, the nation that forget the Almighty, right? The nation that forget the Almighty. Shout out to one of them Maya son, because we were just talking about this. The nation that forget the Almighty be turning to hell, all right? And America's pretty much hell right now. And that's why, honestly, we were looking at Trump as the like the Cyrus in Ezra. You know what I'm saying? And that was my perspective of it. You know what I mean? That he was like the new Cyrus. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I even remember when they got into my head about him being a bad guy and all this other stuff. And that was like back in 2020. That was like back in 2020. And I remember, the rabbi, he was like, yo, hold up on that. You know what I'm saying? Hold up on that. Let's see what's really going on. Because you got to look at the details of other things. And then we seen all the fuckery. And I was like, wow, I would have went hard on the man. I had already went hard on him in the video. And then they tried to use that. It was like, I remember when he went over there to London, they was like calling him a gangster and all this other shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, wait a minute, y'all biting off of the stuff that we be saying and shit like that. But then you won't give us reparations, right? And then they want us to be on the side of those who weren't going to do shit for us. They, and it's not, the hardworking people that come to the country that hard working, don't wish nothing on them people. You know what I mean? I know they, maybe just looking for a better life or anything. And to any people who were looking for a better life, may Jah guide and protect you, pray you get there. But at the same time, if you looking at us in a racial perspective, if you disrespect our culture, you coming to take over and we gonna be shitted on. No, the Almighty is not gonna let his people be. The Almighty is not gonna let that happen because we here now. We professing that we are the Black Jews. So, like Cube said in his new video, let us work together as brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying? All over the world as the children of Christ against the Antichrist, the evil, because they still gonna be throwing all the evil antics and stuff out there. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just kind of want to go over this, some of the pictures in this right here that the Rebbe did. He did a really good job. If y'all get a chance, man, y'all really need to go and pass this video around. And all the Rastafari Jew videos, but this one specifically, when we talking about, you talk about your culture, because I keep on seeing a lot of brothers on the internet. They're very emotional with the FBA thing, but you start driving it into a fantasy place. You're not staying rooted like a man, like a soldier, like the cavalry was back in the Civil Wars, or like the Gullah and the Geechie were, like them soldiers were back at that time. You got to stay grounded like a soldier. The ladies, the women, I expect the women to be a large degree take things from an emotional sense, but we as men need to stop that shit. All right? Stop tearing down our brothers and sisters. We got a problem with each other, anything like that. We should be able to address each other without being so emotional and everything like that. You know what I mean? Let's not get too deep into this emotional fantasy, this nonsense. You know what I'm saying? But let's look at what it really is. Like I remember this part. Let me see this part right here. Fat Joe goes in on foundation. What's his deal? You know what I'm saying? What was the deal? You know what I'm saying? Crack. Nigga, who gave you that name, bro? Come on, Joey. You know what I'm saying? Because I never really didn't not like Fat Joe until I started hearing about what the brother Cuban Links was saying he did to, when they started saying them real stories. And we've been hearing about Joe for a long time anyway. A lot of people think that, Joe saying hoe ass stuff or doing hoe shit. This ain't nothing. It's nothing new. If those of us from back in the 90s and all that, just watch hip hop and the culture, and you was into it. Me, myself, I did do music. You know what I mean? So I was deeply into it and all of that. But another thing that I had realized was like, you got what they show you on the videos and all that shit. You know what I mean? You got what they show you on YouTube and, all this other. You had not even the social media age before that. You know what I'm saying? Before that. You know what I'm saying? When we just had BT, you know what I'm saying? When we had Big Tigger and them and Joe Claire and all. Y'all might not know some of these people's names. Y'all youngsters, go check them out. When Free, we had, even up to 106 in Park. That was more later in time and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? We had the hip hop, the basement, nigga. Remember the basement? You know what I'm saying? So we used to have to literally go to the swamp meet. If you go to your swamp meet, your local flea market, we used to have to literally go there and buy those DVDs. You couldn't find all them hip hop DVDs and all that when they was coming out back then, and these brothers was delivering this message, like when Cuban Links was telling us what Joe was really doing, what happened to Big Pun's family, you know what I'm saying, the way he did Big Pun and all that. So there's a lot of, it's not the first time Joe done no whole ass shit or said no, but this right here, it did, it struck a nerve. But let's not go too emotionally far with it. But let's wake Joe up, because the same, you shit on black people, you gonna get shitted on. You know what I'm saying? If you gonna shit on black people, you gonna shit on your people, your culture, because you say you're a black man. You know what I'm saying? Many of the Latino brothers and sisters, you can see that blackness in them. You know what I'm saying? Whether they be brown people or not, people are who they are. It don't matter what color they are. You know what I'm saying? If you love the Almighty, Jah Rastafari, I respect you, and I'll try to have love for you, or even love you as a brother if I know that's what it is. But if you want to look at me in a degrading way or some racial kind of way, then we gonna have a problem. That's with anybody. You know what I'm saying? But let's go through this, because I want to show some of the, the cultural aspects. Like you see right here. See, it has the Juneteenth and then the Black American Heritage flag, the Gullah Geechie flag. Wave some of these flags. You know what I'm saying? Come out with wave some of these flags. You know what I'm saying? I give, I see what Umar's saying. I give him a little credit on the Black Pan-Africanist thing. But sometimes it be seeming like y'all got a problem with His Imperial Majesty Kedamawi Haile Selassie. And this is what you need to recognize. Haile Selassie is the King of Kings. Marcus Garvey bowed down to the King of Kings, right? He knew who the Messiah Christ was, all right? So don't try to take some little bullshit that he did where he fucked up at and try to run with that and think you gonna be all right with us, because you're not. I don't give a damn about them semantics and all that shit. I'm telling you what it is. Don't think you gonna talk down on the Almighty and ain't nothing gonna be out of that. All right? Now, I'm gonna just keep it at that. I'm not finna mention nothing else, but I'm gonna say that right there. If you got a secret problem with what the truth really is, you will fail. You will fail. There ain't no doubt about that. All right? But yeah, brothers, let's, recognize this is our culture. You know what I'm saying? Black Americans. Well,
politricking, right? It's some politricking.
yeah, for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The people, the people he was down with, right? And some of this even with Drake. You know what I'm saying? Some of this even with Drake. Like I see the same thing with Kendrick. Don't be trying to pick on no black Hebrew Israelite doctrine. You know what I'm saying? We have to reason with our people with the confusion they're in, because see, check this out. If they got a problem with his Imperial Majesty, Kedamali Haile Selassie, this is the King of Kings, crown Christ in his kingly character, 1930, November 2nd. That is Christ in his kingly character, the Father. If you got a problem with that, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? That's on you. That's your own soul. That's on you. I hope, and pray that, that you figure it out, and may Jah have mercy on your soul. May you figure it out and everything like that. I know we all haven't, always been perfect, but see, to be perfect, you know what I'm saying? Like Yeshua said, be ye perfect as I am. Don't come with that we ain't perfect and we can't be perfect shit, because that's how you fall into sin. That's why a lot of niggas keep on sinning. They keep sinning and sinning and sinning. I'm talking about sinning. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying stop sinning. I'm trying to win, trying not to sin, right? Like B.I.G., right? Trying to win, trying not to sin, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but let us start waving our cultural, recognize what your culture is, man. Recognize what your culture is, because I actually kind of want to, go over some of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have a lot of history. Look, see, that's the, you see that right there? Let's kind of, can we zoom? Yeah. Amen. All right, the Gullah, the Gullah Geechie lands. You want reparation lands? I heard the most famous place to move now, I think besides Texas, they said now is South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? But who's moving there? You know what I'm saying? Is that the Gullah land? Is that going to be the reparation land before we get ready to go back to Jerusalem? You know what I'm saying? Is that going to be part of it? You know what I'm saying? We got to look into all of those things. Let's not have let's not have a simpleton way of looking at it, but let's open our eyes to the vision of the Almighty, how he really wants us to see these things. You know what I'm saying? As we moving forward. But yeah, I just want to show some of this. They go Gullah right there. You know what I mean? My pops Geechie. You know what I'm saying? My pops is Geechie. I got some of my family is Gullah, in the GA area, up through the Carolinas. My pops is Geechie from Mississippi. My folks in Texas, you know what I'm saying? My Texas people, you know what I mean? My Blackfoot Indians. I remember I was looking at the Yamasee, you know what I'm saying? Heard of the Yama Crawl, a lot of them indigenous black, recognize what black people fought for, the freedom of other people. That's that Israelite identity in those people right there. You know what I'm saying? But don't give up on that. Don't give up on that, and don't be no coward about it either. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of niggas is cowards and they want to run away from that. We black Israelites. You know what I'm saying? And it makes us look bad. You know what I'm saying? But be a G about it. Be a G. When I say be a G, be a God man about it. You know what I'm saying? Don't be a fool. Don't be a fool. You came from them situations and the streets, the projects, and all that. Well, grow in fruition and become that soldier now. Become that soldier. Leave all the fuck shit behind you. You know what I'm saying? And grow out of that. I understand you do what you have to do to survive and all of that, but grow up. Grow the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? A nigga, you shouldn't be complaining you got all that money. You know what I'm saying? What you crying, it's like you crying like a bitch or something like that. You know what I mean? Stop it. You know what I'm saying? So, we want to love all our black brothers, you know what I'm saying? But we hoping y'all don't be no black antichrist where we gotta, you know what I'm saying? Where it's gotta be like that with us. And that's why it's too much brothers like going after other brothers on social media. That shit it really look like, it just don't look right, man. It looks bad. You know what I'm saying? Not to call too many names and all that, but it's horrible, man, seeing that. You know what I'm saying? Especially when we trying to come up at this time, we're trying to get reparations and everything like that. But, I want to have love for my black brothers. You know what I'm saying? I want to have love for my brothers, but you gotta get that bitch ass shit out your spirit, man, for real. You know what I mean? And let us recognize what we really need to do. We can help each other. You know what I'm saying? Say stuff like this. Right? See stuff like that flag right there. And a lot of this, I didn't even know, man. I had to give it to the Rebbe. Like, when he did this video, I was like, man, this is deep. You know what I mean? I was like, this is deep because it's a lot of cultural imprints, man, like blueprints that a lot of our children don't know this. They're not teaching this in school. Make them teach this in school to our children. Why don't you protest for that, man? Teach the truth to our children. Teach them who they really are. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing these games. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of seeing all. I know it'd be like the AI white Jesus. Stop that shit. That's blasphemy. You know what I'm saying? If you really love Christ, you should be able to accept him as the black man he is. You should be able to accept Amos 9:7, where it says, aren't you as the children of the Ethiopians to me, O Israel? You know what I'm saying? Look at that. Gullah, founded. Now, you talk about foundational black American. Come on now. Founded August 24th, 1807. Known for warm temps, leader of the Confederate section. And talking about black people all over the world. Ethiopian world, right? Ethiopian world, universal. We the black peoples of the world. That's the preamble of the Ethiopian World Federation. Don't y'all know that? We the black peoples of the world. Why would you tarnish that? You know what I'm saying? Why would you let that go to the wayside? Why would you not, since 1936, Dr. Malaku Iban, His Imperial Majesty Gedamawi Haile Selassie's special emissary, why would you let that go to the wayside? Why? For what? You know what I'm saying? For a cow that eat grass. What's that verse? I'm looking for the birth like my brother Schoolboy Q. He kind of said that. Right? I was like, man, I thought that was cool. He said that in the verse, but you exchange, you know what I'm saying? You exchange your glory for you know what I'm saying? What is it? For the cow that eat grass or something like that? You know what I mean? I'm not saying the verse right, but you know what I mean. If you don't, go find it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna find the verse and bring it back up here to you. You know what I mean? But yeah, look at that. Founded August 24th, 1807. And this was the most costly war in U.S. history. Did y'all know that? This was the most, well, I don't know about I don't know. I'm not even really getting all that. But yeah, this was the most at the time, probably before up into further worse wars later. But no, this was the most costliest war in U.S. history. You know what I'm saying? President, was it Andrew Jackson at the time, the Gullah Wars. They didn't teach us this in school, just like they don't teach us the Maccabean revolt, that we the Maccabees. That's us. We the Maccabees. This can include the Khazars in the colonization of slave trade, because colonialization is basically the slave trade. So yeah, it can be if you come and make a comment, so you trying to free the slaves. You know, oh, you was I whooped on that trip like an American slave. Remember you said that shit? All right, so, and now all of a sudden, Dennis the Menace shit, we flipping the Monopoly board now? Man, nah, bro. No. You know what I mean? But, recognize your culture, recognize who you are as recognize that black Israelite side of you. That didn't come from Kendrick. That didn't come from Kendrick's cousin. All right, that came from the Bible, that came from the Torah. And that brother being founded in that truth, he found that truth like the rest of us found it. You know what I mean? And give thanks to Jah the Almighty, the Yahweh, Jah Rastafari, You know what I mean? Give thanks and praises. You know what I mean? He who be, Baruchu. Ja Rastafari, yes I. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's a cultural thing. Let's pick up on our culture. You know, let's love who we be. You know what I'm saying? There you go. I'm not Southern, I'm Gullah Geechie. I like that right there. It's a battle rap brother named Geechie, Geechie got it. Yeah, Geechie got it. Geechie got it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, recognize. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about us fighting each other, but it's about us, you know, we need to come up together. Let's make money together. You know what I'm saying? We got to be an army together. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of us got the same enemies, unless you going to go, you know, fold up. You're going to fold up to your enemy. You're going to call something ratchet. You're going to call something out ratchet abomination, but you don't recognize the ratchet abomination that you a part of. That's interesting. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going to do you like that, though. I ain't going to say your name. You know what I mean? Not right now, anyway. But Gullah Geechie, Cultural Heritage Corridor. You know, these were, yeah, man. I wanted to go over these, you know. This stuff is very important for, you know what I'm saying? Let's see some more. We gotta get more, you know what I'm saying? I think it's a brother, he rapping, right? Brother rapping, he a Gullah brother. I think he was a brother from the Carolinas or he from Florida. You know what I mean? Because you gotta look at the history of everywhere we at, the history of how we had to fight against colonialization, which is this racist, evil white system. You know what I'm saying? And for the good white people they are, I think the AI even says it's only about 5% that were I think like 5% that will really get a life for black people or something like that. Was looking at the Rebbe's last video. You know what I mean? Yeah, we found that to be interesting. It was like, oh, white people fought and laid down their lives for black. No, they did not. Just are they fighting and laying down their life for you right now? No. You got to get in where you fit in. You got to survive under their racist ass system. They worried about themselves. You know what I mean? A lot of them is worried about themselves. So we give thanks to those white folks who do the work of the Almighty and do really help black people, or really do lay down their lives. And it's not necessarily for black people, but one who's laying down his life for righteousness cause. He's laying down his life for the Almighty. It's not necessarily for any people. You know what I'm saying? But if this be God's people and you be black Jews, black Israelites, and those good people of other nations had given their life and wrote doctrines and many things and tried to help you, I have to salute. Those are our brothers and sisters in Christ. More so than they would be more so brothers and sisters than the brothers and sisters who they might be our skin folk. You know what I mean? They might be our skin color, but then they be antichrist. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, we have to cut them off. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you want to get up in there, you might have to cut off that one limb, you know, if it's sin against you, because it's better, right? It's better to lose your arm or your leg or lose that member than the whole body go to hell, right? Then the whole body go to hell. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it means when we cut off them certain. But I gotta cut this nigga off. You know what I mean? Because he ain't right. It ain't because I'm jealous of him. He got more money than me. He's rich. You know what I'm saying? It's the stupid, you know, silly stuff that I can do for myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna go call no. First of all, I'm not finna call no foundation, no black America. Even if I get rich, super rich, I will never call them broke, because if you came from a place of poverty, you should know how hard it is to work up out of that, especially in countries like the United Snakes of America. You know what I'm saying? You should know, especially for black people, the oppression that we had to suffer for the 400 years, for the last 400 years. You remember, like I said, Acts 7:7, they entreated my people evil for 400 years, but yet, what's the other verse said? If they would have had mind, right? If they minded the country which they came from, they could have came out and went home alone, right? They could have came out, probably went home a long time ago with reparations and riches and stuff like that. Nobody's saying, oh, I want to come out in poverty. Nobody's saying that. Nobody, you know, and broke, there's a difference between when somebody says broke, when you know what I look at that's like a broken spirit. That's beyond a brother being in a situation where he a little poor, or he don't have that much money right now. He might be, his living conditions ain't all of that. He's trying to work his way out of that. And it's a little hard or whatever. He's in poverty. That's different. Broke mean you got a broke ass spirit. Your spirit is broken for who you really are. Like, you a broken man. That's to me, that's worse. That's way worse. And I wouldn't wish poverty or being poor on no man. You know what I'm saying? But to have a broken spirit, even if you rich, I mean, damn, your spirit is broken. Like, you a broken man. There's nothing that could, you know what I mean? You lively up yourself. Bob Marley got something called, you better lively up. You better lively up yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Don't be no drag. Don't be no drag. That's interesting. Yeah, let's see. You know what I'm saying? But let's go through some more of these. This brother right here, Geechie King, Rastafari. Yes, Rastafari. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if the brother getting there in his knowledge and he grow and see, yeah, Rastafari, brethren. Yes, let's see, Geechie, Gullah woman. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, a lot of these were important, man. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful. The black women that fought for our freedom, like Harriet Tubman and many other sisters, that weren't mentioned. And again, check out the Rastafari Jews, man. It's very educational. It's very good for us to have that knowledge within us. That's rich knowledge provided by the Spirit. You know what I'm saying? By the Holy Spirit. And I give thanks to Almighty Jah Rastafari for that. You know what I mean? Because it grounds us and it gets us to another. We can find out more knowledges and help each other. Bring it and deliver it to each other. You know what I'm saying? Fight against wickedness and oppression. Black man is death to white and black. You know what I mean? Black and white down oppressors. You know what I'm saying? That was the saying. That's a Rastafari saying. That's a Rastafari Jew saying. Not just the Rasta, because the Rastas, they do as they will. They kind of, they dibble and dabble in the Bible. Oh, I believe, I don't believe. It's just weirdo. You know what I'm saying? Weirdos. There's a lot of weird ass Rasta niggas. So be careful. Make sure they Rastafari. There's true Rastafari Israelite. You know what I mean? Child of His Imperial Majesty Kedamawi Haile Selassie Baruch Jah Rastafari. You know what I'm saying? Give thanks and praise to the Almighty. You know what I'm saying? But let's kind of go through. Is that James? Is that W.E. Du Bois, right? Or is it James Morris Red? I think that's W.E. right there. Let's see. Thought that was cool. That's interesting too, right there. You see that? Our direct descendants from Israel, Judea by bloodline. So what you mean? You said you was a colonizer, actually, though, bro. You the one. You the one said you was a colonizer, G. You know what I mean? You said you trying to, you said you'll whoop somebody like an American slave. Remember you said that? I'll whoop something like an American slave. Remember you said that? You said that. Remember, you was like, you trying to free the slaves and you'll whoop somebody like an American slave. And then the brother said, damn, this nigga ain't even humble up not to double down. He even said this nigga doubled down on it. Remember, Kendrick even said, man, this nigga doubled down, still calling us some slaves. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Where we at? Where we at? Over here. Let's get some of that. Right there. Let's see. Perhaps some people confused Garvey's ideas. See, this is interesting. Another thing too, right here. Perhaps some people, who's them some people? Perhaps some people confuse Garvey's ideals with those of Reverend James Webb. Okay. Yes, who in night. Okay, so it wasn't. It is Brother James Morris Webb. Okay. God bless. God bless. Give thanks and praises. Who in 1924 pronounced the coming of a redeeming black king, Kedamawi Haile Selassie Jah Rastafari, the King of Kings, the last king to sit on the throne of David in Ethiopia imperial Ethiopia. I'm gonna say holy imperial Ethiopia that was, with that lion on the flag and not that 5-star that y'all got on there. You know what I'm saying? Now, I respect the one in Ghana. You know, they got the black star on Ghana, that black star, because that's that, that's that connection like with the female. But the 6-pointed star, the lily, you know what I'm saying? See, the Revy got some really good videos. I should go into the lily video because there's cultural things in the lily video too that are very important. You know what I'm saying? Very educational. It's not just giving credit to a man for no reason, but there's deep information and education that'll help us, man. Because if we have this information and this knowledge, we can't be fooled no more. You can't throw the wool over our eyes. You know what I'm saying? We see it. You can't throw the veil on us no more. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Pronounce the coming of a redeeming black king, a Gullah, because there's a word redeemed in the Hebrew, Gullah. Gullah, there's a word for redeemed that is Gullah. Gullah. You know what I'm saying? Even in the King James Bible. You know what I'm saying? In the Bible, the word redeem is Gullah. Ain't that deep? That he pronounced the coming of a redeeming, a Gullah black king, in a speech delivered in Liberty Hall. Charles Price becoming Rasta. Okay, yeah, so, even in that abbreviated, the brothers that know no better, and they meant well, because we try not to do the Rasta. We try to do the whole RASTAFARI because we see how they kind of played with the Rasta thing. You know what I mean? Made us, trick us and make us think it was only something going on in Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't have nothing to do with our entire people on the earth. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where we were. And I'm to give thanks to the brothers and sisters in Jamaica who held on to that Benjamin. That was Benjamin right there, right? And Judah, Ethiopia, Afro-American, Judah. This is Judah. These Gullahs be Judah. You know what I'm saying? Yehudi. These Gullah be Yehudi. These Geechie Gullah be Yehudi. You know what I mean? Remember that. These Gullah Geechie be Yehudi. Yes, sir. Ja Rastafari. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's see. That's some more. What is that right? Perhaps some people confused. Yeah, that was the same one right there. You know what I mean? Just kind of going over some of this video and everything like that. See what else we got up in there. There's His Majesty. I think that was His Majesty. Is that His Majesty right there? Let's go back real quick. Bam. Oh, yeah. Oh, beautiful, man. Okay. Is that Dr. Gladstone? No. Not doing that right. Hold up. That's James Moore's Webb, right? Rabbi Wentworth Arthur Matthews, God bless. Of the Commandment Keepers, I believe that's him right there. You know what I'm saying? And James Morris Webb, prophet, priest, prophet, the King of Kings, coordinated Christ in his kingly character, the Father Christ, Gedamawi Haile Selassie, Ja Rastafari. Recognize, you know what I'm saying? Recognize your roots. Gullah Geechie, these Gullah Geechie be Yehuda. All right? Amen.